Okay, buddy. All fed up. Here's your bowl of water and your food. All right, eat up. Oh, salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages. It's just me, your host of Posing Action Figures with Toy the Poser. Which, yes, I am Toy the Poser. And as you can see, I'm doing my best to try to be a responsible cosmic pet owner. And if you're new here and you're not familiar with who this big fella is, this is Lockjaw, the pet of the royal family, the Inhumans, who I did a video of him and Crystal in the last video. But now it's time for him to go and for me to go back behind the camera into giant mode. Whoop. Come on, boy. Come on, Lockheed. Time to go, Lockjaw. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, playtime's over, and now it's time to get down to business with the last two members of the Inhumans, or the last two members that we got in action figure form, of the Royal Inhumans family, and that is Medusa and Gorgon. All right, and of course, for those who like boxes, and well, that's upside down, is it? So yeah, the top of the package, which I think you already saw, the bottom of the package for whoever wants to see things like that. The other side of the package that I guess I could try to show you in an upright position. And of course, the back of the package. All right, that I should see if I can help you stroll a little better and read it. Okay. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and magical poof these guys out of here and get this show going. So, magical poof. Okay, so we're gonna, as you can see, that them out of the package. Now, okay, we're gonna talk Gorgon first. So let's, because he seems to be the easiest one to talk. He seems like he's gonna be the easiest one to talk about. So let's take Medusa out of the frame right now. All right, no need for magic. And let's talk the big guy here, all right? Gorgon. So his accessories is this, I'm gonna call it a mace. I don't know if it has its own special name to it, or if it's a weapon or a back scratcher or what, but yeah, he comes with that and two alternate hands. One looks more like a grabby hand than that, so I'm assuming that's going to be the one for his weapon holding hand. And by the way it looks like, yeah, it's going to be a loose grip. And I really hate that. I really despise that when they give us stuff like this. But that's like one of the reasons why I wanted to start with him with this, because it's going to be a lot of griping going on. I mean, a lot of ranting going on here. And yeah, and he is, you know, as you can see, although he got boot swivel, but he has unconventional feet. He got horse hooves for feet or whatever. So trying to oppose him probably going to be tough, and he's a big guy. So this is going to be tough. This little shawl or whatever he got draped over his shoulder. Yes, of course it's hard plastic. I wish it wasn't, but that's neither here nor there because I just took off, I just took off the head for a reason. But just to show you what it looks like without it. Because at this point now, this is one of the rants. No butterfly joints. I mean, really, Hasbro, at this point in time, this day and age, no butterfly joint, okay? But, and it, I mean, of course, this hard plastic cloth thing is going to hinder his posing or articulate, his arm range or something like that. Although his arms are moving really smooth. I like that, baby. Yeah, like no double jointed. Come on, Hasbro. So I'm not a what you call it, a guy that I just wanted to show y'all guys that that little wristband does come off, and that's what it looked like if you care. But I'm not a guy that really complains about stuff like pinless arms or legs or stuff like that. I mean, I guess I see the reason why they do it and why it's such a great upgrade or a worthwhile upgrade, but I don't think it was that much of a. I'm one of those people that it wasn't that much of a problem for me from the get-go. So you see what I mean? Look at that. Look how loose. It doesn't even have a good grip on it, and on top of that, it's heavy. It's heavy for it's too heavy for him to hold. So this is the pose for this is gonna be wonky. So I'm gonna, and because he's a big guy, you guys, I might have to do this off camera. So hold on, we're gonna put him on the rotate and pose him and put him on the rotate and talk more about him. So all right. Okay, believe it or not, this simple looking little pose was a lot more difficult than it looked. But here we are. And as I said before, it was, yeah, let's just go with that. I mean, cool power stance, but here we are. So before I start, I just want to say that Gorgon here is not the only person that goes by the name Gorgon. There is another guy by the name of Tomi Shishindo. I'm not going to try that again. Yeah, I'm not going to try it again. That also goes by the name of Gorgon or the Mighty Gorgon. However, we are going to talk about this Gorgon, who is Gorgon Petragon, and yeah, I'm hoping I'm saying that name right. But anywho, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee and first appearing in Fantastic Four issue 44 back in 1965, the son of Melina, his mother, and Korath, the father, but not to be confused by this guy, who is Korath Thok, or better known as Korath the Pursuer, who created this guy, the Pursuer. So yeah, sorry I had to only give you this picture because Gorgon's father Korath was kind of hard to find a picture of him. Anywho, but Korath is the brother of this guy, Aegon. Aegon is the father of Maximus Boltagon, his second son, but his first son, Blackguard Boltagon. And yes, if you didn't know, That is the Inhumans team leader, Black Bolt. So yes, Gorgon is another cousin of Black Bolt. All right, and just like all the others Inhumans of the royal family, Gorgon was exposed to the Terrigen Mist. That was a special mist that was created by a group of aliens called the Kree, that was meant to create superhuman or super beings to use as pawns or soldiers in their fight against their enemies, the Skrulls. All right. So the Terrigen Mist would alter these beings, but only of certain bloodlines, hence the Inhumans, the R, into certain creatures, or I guess mutations, if you will, and giving them certain features and altering their features and giving them certain physical abilities. And as his features here say, that Gorgon resembles a human, which he once technically was, but with hooves instead of feet now, and formerly after undergoing secondary terrigenics, which is the Terrigen Mist, Gorgon had gained a monstrous appearance. So but as you can see here, he only gained another foot and 35 pounds or so more. So he was already a monster. And like most superpowered beings that goes through a transformation from human to superpowered being, everything that he normally has physical features would increase, like his strength, speed, durability, and but Gorgon was already, his fighting skills were already pretty high because he was already a good hand-to-hand combatant. And fun fact, Gorgon can regenerate faster than most, well, of course, humans, but I don't think it's on the level of, like, let's say like a Deadpool or Wolverine. I don't think that if he lose a limb, he can grow it back. But yeah, but he can heal from injuries, like about twice as fast of a normal human. With all that being said, Gorgon's main superhero power or special ability is that those giant feet can basically cause shock waves. So technically, he got horse feet that can create an earthquake. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, we are back to getting the. All right, this part gets weird. I'm just saying. That's just the warning now. But this is Medusa. All right. Last but not least, the Inhuman Queen. She comes with an alternate face. Don't ask me why. But hey, I guess Rowling, and of course in these hands that come with just about every female character. So yeah, I think this is a cool feature. Don't ask. I can think of a couple of characters that they could have used this on, and it's not actually that hard to take off Nightmare Fuel, and place hands, and it's a pretty snug fit. So yeah, it's nothing. I'm trying to give you guys a close up, but yeah, nothing doesn't shake out of nothing. So there you have it. Okay. Now, Medusa's going to be hard to post. And this is where I pay the rent here because, once again, whoop, whoop, we, anybody that knows that, know that I hate getting, when we have to forced to get characters that we already have, and we already had a Medusa. As I said earlier before, go back and check the videos, link in the description, and for the previous videos for the earlier INHUMANS reviews. But yeah, this was the first Medusa that we got from Hasbro's Marvel Legends, and that's all she did. It's only an old buck, the very old one where they didn't even give us double jointed elbows or the bicep articulations. And yeah, the head and hair was basically the heaviest part of it. So it, like I said, for what it was, if crap, I can't put the head back on, but for what it was worth, I didn't really. Okay, it's back. I didn't hate this, but Medusa's was one of those characters that I felt like they could have gave us so much more. They could have had done so much more with this character, because especially if you're just going to give us hard plastic hair, and we can make interchangeable heads and stuff like that. Why not give us some interchangeable hairstyles? Because don't want to, well, I kind of jumped the gun here to tell about who she really is, but yeah, Medusa is the Inhuman that can use her hair as, basically as a weapon, or basically as other appendages and stuff like that. So almost equivalent to Dr. Octopus's arms or something like that. I guess that's how I can put it in a nutshell. But yeah, so instead of giving us an interchangeable faceplate, you could have just gave us interchangeable hair styles and things like that, and wacky hands that we have a million of if we collect the action figures. You could have gave us different types of hair pieces and stuff like that. But enough of that. But I love the fact that if you're gonna give us an upgrade, an extra figure, give us the upgrade. And this is the new upgraded, or the latest upgraded female body, where not only it has like the diaphragm cut, it also has a ab crunch. So they can bend really far. If they, what I like to call the Bruce Lee stretch and pose. So yeah, I don't know if you guys ever seen Return of the Dragon. Was it Return of the Dragon or Enter the Dragon, or one or the other? I can't remember. But he did this stretch where he can bend down and yeah. Anyway, Bruce Lee could. But anyway, yeah. And now she has kind of sort of has butterfly joints in her arms. But as I said before, when it comes to butterfly joints, if they can't cross their arm, well, I'll be damned. Her face did come off. But I don't think I really pushed it on that tight enough because of my hand. But anyway, yeah. What the devil? It can't. Okay. Stay on. Oh, wow. It is coming off. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's my gloves that's snagging it or something. I'll figure that out later. I guess. So let's see if I can get through this video with it. But anywho, where was I? Butterfly. Okay, I can't do that. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was, man, it really was. Her face is really loose on her. This little face exchanges are really loose. So I got to be careful. I hope I'm the only one with this little defect, but sheesh. But what was I? I was talking about the bad butterfly joints. Yeah, butterfly joints I don't think should count as butterfly joints. One, if you can't get it across your body. Two, if they either, you can't clap your hands. Everybody. Can she clap her hands with her pathetic butterfly joints? Yes, she can. She can't put them together. Well, kind of, sort of. You got to kind of put them in there. So they're not horrible, but they're not the best. That's as close as she can clap her hands. And if you have to like turn her muscle biceps in to get them closer, and they don't cross. So horrible, horrible, horrible butterfly joints. So they shouldn't really count as butterfly joints, but I appreciate it. At least they gave us that much. They could have did better because we've seen them do better. Anywho, and as I was speaking about Medusa's hair, this Medusa, unlike the other one, has a swivel in her hair piece. So yeah, she can. And I got a funny feeling, so I'm gonna put her in a cold pose, real quick, and oh my goodness. All right, I mean, it kind of sucks that, cause she's not gonna be able to bend her head back or forth because of the hair. Well, she can bend it that way up as much, but that's about as good as it gets. And I'm scared the face is gonna fall off again. So just with the swinging hair, it looked like it can come apart, but I'm not gonna try that. But swinging hair and down to there. I mean, this is such a crappy pose for a Medusa because she's supposed to be able to use her hair. So what? Can I do something to make her use her hair? Because this sucks. Oh man, this is bad. This is horrible. Oh my goodness. Come on, Your Highness. Let's see it. This is a horrible Medusa pose. See, this is another one of those characters. Here, let me put it on the rotator. Okay, so I was trying to indicate what I meant when I said they could have gave us extra hair accessories to, show off Medusa's power. So I took the old Medusa head and tried to incorporate it to show that, yeah, I tried something to make it look a little bit more cooler, and that's what my attempt at it. But anywho, all right, that wasn't the greatest attempt, but I just hope you guys know it gives you guys a good enough visual of what I mean. But by the way, anywho, all right, let's see if we, with the power of imagination, let's see if we can go ahead and land this plane and close this little 4-part series out. Okay, so Yeah, what do we know about Medusa, or what should we know about Medusa? Well, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and appearing in Fantastic Four number 36 in 1964, which I think this is the first appearance of any first physical visual appearance of any Inhuman in Marvel Comics. But being the firstborn child of Amber and Cullen, and being the older sister of Crystal, the Inhuman with the ability to control the four elements, because like all Inhumans that got their powers from mysterious mist called the Terrigen Mist that was created by a group of aliens called the Kree, who used us to create superhumans to create soldiers to help them fight their enemies, the Skrulls. And just like her little sister, Medusa was exposed to the Terrigen Mist at the adolescent age. And during her adolescence, while she was growing up, she would often go visit in an isolated cave or cell, or wherever they kept him at, her second cousin. Remember what I just said. Her second cousin, who was exposed to the Terrigen Mist. And yeah, that second cousin is Black Hagar, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to try that again. But yes, her second cousin is the king of the Inhumans, Black Bolt. And not only is Black Bolt and Medusa second cousins, they are also king and queen, husband and wife. So yes, while she was visiting her second cousin, and because with Black Bolt's Inhuman abilities, that where he can even speak a whisper without destroying something, he and Medusa formed a bond and started talking to each other telepathically and through sign language that they created, or a sign language that they created themselves, something of that sort. But anywho, because yeah, that whole thing, I guess to some people it's kind of weird, but just like all enhanced humans, Medusa, when she got exposed to the Terrigen Mist, from being a regular human to a superhuman, she also enhanced her abilities of endurance, strength, reflexes, and durability and speed. So, fun fact: Inhumans are actually weaker to things like diseases and stuff. Didn't know that. Found that out not too long ago. But so yeah, they heal slower from diseases than a regular human. So like 2 times slower than a regular human would heal, or recover from infections and diseases. Go figure. But anyway, besides those extra additives, of course, as you know, or didn't know, or should know, Medusa has the ability to control every strand of her hair independently or at will. And yeah, to do things like, as I said before, it's kind of like, the best way I can explain it is kind of like how Doc Ock Dr. Octopus can use his cybernetic arms. Yeah. But I guess on a like, I don't know. That's just the best way I can explain it. But she uses her hair to, you know, do things like fight, extend and reach and grab things and blah blah blah. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna trying to explain it because I'm probably sounding goofy doing it. Anywho, whoop, 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 whoop. And there you have it, kiddos. Our final two members of the Royal Inhuman family. And if you haven't already, if you want to see the other three parts of the other Inhumans, Crystal, Lockjaw, Black Bolt, Trident, and even Karnak, just go down to the descriptions and check out all those links that will lead you right to those videos. As for me, well, just like my mother always said, if you don't have nothing else to do, go somewhere and play. Okay, guys, it's a wrap. See you around. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And to all you kids and kiddos, see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.